Okay, so we've got the Makita 18 volt battery router. It's quite a small 1/4 inch collet. I really like this. I've had it about 2 years. Really impressed with it. Don't think there's many things I've not done that it struggled to do. I've got the 5 amp hour battery, 18 volt. I think it goes from 3 to 6 amp compatible with these in an 18 volt. It came with the standard base, which is adjustable on that little toothed cog there, so that adjusts that and then locks in place. I don't think I've ever used that base. The same as the offset router base as well, so you can take the lock-in collet off of that and put it in there and connect that all up. Some little rubber band mechanism in there, so if you wanted to get really close to something, then you could do that. The plunge base, that is pretty much in that router all the time when I'm using it. It's brilliant. Love that little plunge router. Little bit of play in it, you can hear that. It's a little bit of play, but I love the positioning of the handle grip. Really good, feels natural. Love that. And then the tilt base as well. Again, another thing that I've probably never used, probably never will, but again, it comes with a kit. It's pretty handy. One of the parallel fences that works with this base. It didn't come with the parallel fence for the plunge base, but this one actually came off of my old dewalt router. It's exactly the same, and I'll go on to show that it is exactly the same as the one that came with the dewalt router. Really light, very small and compact. That's one of the reasons I love it so much, is because it's so small. Again, it's brushless. Really, the batteries last seemingly for quite a while as well. Don't seem to run out too easily. It's got 2 LED lights in there. They're proper bright, and also they don't, when you put the machine on, when you unlock it, they come on, so you don't have to have the machine running for those lights to stay on, which is really good. Another good feature. Yeah, love it. So this is the dewalt 18 volt router. Again, 1/4 inch shank collet. Comes with the plunge base and the standard base. I'm not even sure what these particular bases called. I'm sure someone will let me know. This base is a little bit more awkward to put on. It takes a little bit longer because you've got to screw this on and then drop it in. For now, sure there's a little grubs. Yeah, so got that little there, and then that has to get screwed back down and clipped over, which I think takes a bit too long. And then you can adjust it up and down, you turning that. I personally think that takes way too long. Again, with the lights on it, it's got the 2 LED lights, but you have to turn it on for them to stay on, which is a bit frustrating. Love the way it stops so quick. Really quick stopping. So that's one good thing about it. That base, not so keen on. This base, I'll show you. So the handle grip position is straight up and down, whereas on the Makita one, it's slightly tilted forward. So for me, I prefer that. Feels more natural. That it feels like your wrists are at a strange angle. It doesn't, and they're quite big as well. Comparing the two, that is quite a lot slimmer. These ones are quite big and bulky. I'm not sure. I'm not that keen on it. One thing I do like about this base though, the depth of plunge on it is 50 mil or 2 inches. Really good. Amazing amount of plunge on that. Compared to, I think this is on the Makita about 35 millimeters. So much bigger range of motion on that. Not sure on the locking mechanism on this. I've not got used to it. Like I say, I've only had it less than a week. So to plunge it down, you have to push that away, and then to lock it, it just locks naturally on its own, spring loaded locks. Not sure, I'm not sure I'm that keen on that, but it may grow on me. Again, the parallel fence that it comes with is exactly the same. So this is one that come with a dewalt, and that is exactly the same as the Makita base. So yeah, exactly the same. Clear perspex base, not sure on that either. As you can see it collecting dust in there. The dust extraction is another really good thing on this. So that's the dust extraction port. That locks in there like that. There's a little screw that goes in there that holds that in position. But as you can see, it really does kind of shroud that really well around the cutter. Maybe if I was to put that in there, you might see it a little bit easier. The other thing about the dewalt is you got to remember to get it in the right way round, because if you turn it in and it drops in, you can't then get to the locking spindle pin. So you make sure it's around the right way, like that. Not sure why dewalt did that. Why don't you just lock it off one side so you can't get it wrong way around. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, so the shroud would have gone on first, not that. Drop the router in, lock it off, and as you can see, it's got some real good dust extraction coverage on that. Probably not as good as maybe like the Festal ones. The Festal seem to have really got that part of the market sewn up, but much better than the dust extraction on the dewalt is better than on the Makita. That is the only downside to the Makita one, as far as I'm concerned. It is pretty poor. I haven't actually got the button. Okay, so that's the Makita dust extraction port. I've got to say, again, pretty poor for what was overall a really good little router. Look at the amount of space you have there around it. So to get any good dust extraction, you've got to have a really good dust extractor for that to actually get anywhere near. If you can see in there, look how much closer the router cutter is compared to the Makita one here. You've got too much space around that, I feel, which really kind of lets the Makita down on dust extraction. That also, the little port turret here on the dewalt works really well with I've got a Festal CT26, and the dust extraction port on that's really good. It just fits over the hose, fits over that really well. Let me just grab a little cyst vac and you'll see that just slips over there really nice. Pretty decent fit. Dust extraction, again, brilliant on the dewalt. Yeah, so overall, I still would go with the Makita. The power on these, brilliant. Got to say, the dewalt's got some real amount of power to it. Again, 5 amp hour battery. Again, if you really wanted to go for it, put a 54 volt in it. Then you've got some serious amount of power. You probably go all day long, cutting stuff, routing, whatever you want. I think, again, mortises, I've done that with the Makita, cut mortises out for staircases, bits and pieces, really good. I'm pretty sure and confident that the dewalt will be able to handle that, hands down, brilliantly. The T-stack case that the dewalt comes with, that's a massive disappointment. The box is rubbish. the insert inside. I don't know what they were doing when they, I think it must have been a Friday or something, because if you've got that on the dust port, you can't get that in there. That is no way you've got to do that. And it annoys me that you've got to take the thing off, dust port off every time. So that means you've got to strip the machine down. Yeah, strip the machine down if you want to, because obviously you're going to have a cutter in it. You're not going to want to keep taking the cutter out of it to put it in the box. So yeah, you're going to want to have to put that back together. So at the end of the day, you're tired, you want to get home, you don't want to be messing about trying to take the thing apart every single time. You know what I mean? It's just a pain. So that and there, so you've got to make sure it's in the right way round. Pain. You don't want to be doing that, so you'll end up probably launching that box and getting another one and get either a tough system box or some other box, because that's just not cutting it. It's not dust sealed like normally the tough system boxes have got the rubber gasket that goes all the way around. That's not got it. Again, Festal ones, they haven't got it either, but it is what it is. So overall, the dewalt is a little bit of a disappointment when it comes to the box and a couple of the other little bits that I've mentioned, like this base, that's a pain. Like I say, when you use the Makita bait, the Makita, it's just easy to interchange the bases. You haven't got too many bits to worry about changing and twisting and locking into position. So probably if you're looking for a very compact little router, I would get this Makita one, because again, I've had it 2 years, it's been brilliant. The dewalt is just a little bit more of a faff. It's probably got the power over the Makita, but I find it's just a little bit too much like hard work. So that's my opinion anyway. It might get somebody to buy one of these. It might make the decision a little bit easier for you. But I hope it's helped, and if there's anything that you want me to review, because I have got quite a large collection of tools, if there's anything you fancy me reviewing, then I'm more than happy to.